think it's still
because I think we all have the
and-
discussions, because this is not the first time I'm having this discussion. We've all said it. We all feel the same way, but it still doesn't happen.
It goes back to, see, every human being is born. I always go back to the child. Every human being is born into a home, into a society, into a culture, into a nation. So those are the beginnings. That's where you start from. Now, if my child, all she can do, she loves to paint. I remember when we were kids, my brother before me is an purely arts person. He's an artist, painter. He's a musician. That's what he is now. But I remember when we were kids, and I used to be the reading type, you know, my poetry and all that. And so, of course, which meant that I was always like a first-class student. Now, my teachers would sometimes call me into his class and say, see your sister. She's doing so well, because my brother in the middle of maths is painting a lion, and believe you me, if you see his paintings at 5 and 6, you will think he was probably about 15 or 20. You understand? So those things is what eats at people's creativity and removes the value that the painter grows up not seeing that I am somebody, I have talent, I have gift, I'm equal to the engineer. Professor Ablade-Glover, I was interviewing him one day on the night, we celebrated him in April, and he said something that even when he went to NUST to lecture, it was almost like the other lecturers looked down on him because he was a painter. You understand? And those are and that's what removes the value. Now, Shakespeare, people would want to write in the UK. Why? Because Shakespeare has been martyred and idolized right from school. The British is proud that, hey, I have, you know, we all like to quote Shakespeare, and I keep saying I don't like quoting these things, you know, not because of anything, but, you know, hey, they're great. But I have people who are greater too.
Sure.
You know, I have quotes for my. I have quotes.
We all have quotes.
Everybody has a quote.
Be bold.
Has a quote. You understand what I'm saying? So until you start making those paradigm shifts right from the beginning in school, is a child now fox. How many children see foxes? Yet we have dogs, isn't it, around us in the African setting. So why didn't you say dog? You understand? So those are even the rhymes you learn, the books you open, you keep seeing the white hair, and so slowly, psychologically, in your images. And you see, that's what Africans don't understand, that people take over you through images, through the arts. What if I start showing my child, like my daughter has black dolls, not because I'm prejudiced, not because I'm racist, but if I don't let my child start seeing a black doll to say, my doll is so beautiful, believe you me, she's going to get to 13 and she's going to think, oh, I need to straighten my hair to look beautiful. And anything other than that is not beautiful.
Acceptable.
So those are the ways that we can address. It's from the homes and from the schools, because most every child goes into an educational system. What are we pushing into them so that by the time she's 10, now I have some statistics, very worrying, interesting statistics. This was done in America, you know, and it involves the arts and human development, which, by the way, is the key for the night of the arts, that African arts key to the development of Africa, which, you know, I've been trying to research about. And this was an experiment done with 8 to 10 grade students and then 12-year-olds on connection between the arts and development of education. What is it? And it says here, involvement in the arts and academic success. It says here, positive development for children engaged in the arts are seen at each step in the research between 8th and 10th grade, as well as between 10 and 12th grade. The comparative gains for arts-involved youngsters generally become more pronounced over time. When a child is involved in the arts, the chances of that child excelling is higher, and we have the evidences of it. Why are we a third world? And why is America and Europe? But what is the educational system like? A child in Europe My first child happened to school in UK. She didn't hold a pencil till she was 4.
Wow.
They sit on the floor. They have corners in their classrooms, only one table where they do maybe some 10 minutes activity of doing their own painting, and they have a home corner. And if you see your child dressing, changing, and you think, oh, the child is not serious, who told you that? They are learning. There's so many psychological implications to a child wearing the mother's shoe, learning balance, coordination, color coordination, creativity in how to put clothes together, and all these things that we think are not serious things is what will make your child the pilot, the engineer, the scientist. All these little things your child does, which seems like, oh, my child is not, sometimes people ask me, you asked my daughter something and she's telling you something, and then and I look at her, I said, that's Toby's way of saying it. Yeah. She wants to find her own way.
I can see you're very passionate about this.
Because you know why?
This is what happens when you get passionate artists.
And you know why? Because, you see, I look at who we are as a people. I look in this room with and I look at the creativity, and I look at the talent, and I'm asking myself, why are you, for instance, not on the same level with Oprah? What's going on in your mind psychologically? Do you think she's a better person? See, it goes beyond, and the reason why you think you are not is because of these things. Because you haven't been made, you think that I must be on a certain platform to become somebody or to be recognized, and everybody is going by that. If you go on Oprah's show now, believe you me, your value will go up. Ghanaians will start applauding you. But because you haven't gone on Oprah's show,
she's gone now.
You are not seen. You are not seen as having accomplished, but you have accomplished in your own right. That you can sit with us and discuss it. I mean, what are you discussing that Oprah will not discuss? What question have you asked me that Oprah will not ask me at this point?
So it's about valuing ourselves.
It's about value, self-value, and that comes through the arts. When you teach children to express themselves, they gain confidence. Once you gain confidence, eventually value comes, and excellence also comes
in.
Because you would want to, you are never satisfied with where you are at. Watch our trend. Somebody achieves a little thing, suddenly they are the boss, and suddenly because the creative urge is not expanded, it is choked. So a little achievement and we're okay.
Well, unfortunately, do you want to just add one last thing? Because we do
one last thing.
Yes.
Okay. I grew up playing Chaskele, Pilulu, all these games, listening to all these local lullabies, watching these Bibi Grandma things on TV. And in these days, we don't get to see them anymore because you have PS3s and you have the Xboxes, spend time watching movies and all that. Let me get to the doorstep of the media. I think we need to do so much more, really, in bringing these things on.
Back on again.
Thank you very much. We need to get programs in tune with the arts back on TV, or things highlighting who we are as Africans. Because one thing that motivated me to be a writer, I never knew I had it. Just that when I was growing up, I used to ask questions. I was keen. I wanted to find I find out about everything. I split the deck up when I was like 7 years old, and so they would have to lock the hall in order not to get me in when they were going to work. You get it? So as the child is keen, we need to get these things back on screen. The things we see inform us a lot. You realize people watch these soap operas and they think, okay, so I know maybe too much about love, I know too much about this, I know too much about that. So let's check the kind of things that we screen.
Well, thank you very much. Getting two artists on the show is a bad idea. I'm not doing that again. Very passionate artists too. I'm like, oh. Anyways, you guys have witnessed this very heated discussion. I mean, it could go on and on, but I hope you're joining us on our website right now, www.thebeboldshow.com, to continue this discussion. But again, thank you for our very first BB discussion. Unfortunately, that's all I have for you this evening. Thank you for watching Be Bold. At this point, I'd like to also remind you to tune in to www.thebeboldshow.com onto our Bold Radio. That's where you're going to find the latest jams and all the people contributing, letting you know how they're bold all over the continent. it's amazing. It's truly inspiring just being on there, looking at the highlights, episodes, taking part in our blog discussions. It's truly amazing. Just visit it today whenever you get the chance. Now, also, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my sponsors, YMX, for sponsoring us, Accents and Arts, with this beautiful furniture you see here, Headlines Hair Salon for my hair and my nails, and of course Capture Your Memory Bank for taking all these phenomenal pictures. Last but not least, my production crew. You guys are amazing. We wouldn't be here without you. Now, thank you very much for joining us. My name is Crystal Jean, and see you again next week. Be bold! Woo!
Stop paying bills. Come home and help build a nation. It's the Ghana Youth Forum. It's the Ghana Youth Forum. It's the Ghana Youth Forum. The Ghana Youth Forum. Everybody's talking about the Ghana Youth Forum. Parents dreaming about the Ghana Youth Forum. Teachers teaching about the Ghana Youth Forum. If you went to school in Ghana and you didn't like it, all they told you was, son, don't try to fight it. Sit down, obey. After all, we went through it. You can chew and pour if you put your mind to it. Wake up, wake up. It's time for transformation. You and me together, we can build a better nation. Stop paying bills. Come home and help build a nation. It's the Ghana Youth Forum. It's the Ghana Youth Forum. It's the Ghana Youth Forum. The Ghana Youth Forum. Everybody's talking about the Ghana Youth Forum. Parents dreaming about the Ghana Youth Forum. Teachers teaching about the Ghana Youth Forum. If you went to school in Ghana and you didn't like it, all they told you was, son, don't try to fight it. Sit down, obey. After all, we went through it. You can chew and pour if you put your mind to it. Wake up, wake up. It's time for transformation. You and me together.